Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. Very happy to have you here today. We are going to, of course, be doing comics news today. And I am Chester C. Busby III, and I'm very happy that you've all come and joined us. We do have some very interesting stories today. Do keep in mind, of course, today is a double show for us. We have this one here, and then, of course, at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be doing the fan edition of Drawn and Quartered. And today, Booster, we have got ourselves quite the interesting character to be having seen the artist draw. We are doing Monster MD. Very interesting looking book. Are you excited about it, dude?
Wow, I'm super duper excited.
Nice. Super duper excited, Booster. Actually, I'm
Yes,
really
mister.
well, no, I'm actually really enjoying the format that Pixel is shifting over to. I like the idea of covering indie books and the characters they're doing. I like it. I think it's a good direction for us to go. And I really hope we have I haven't spoken to Pixel yet this morning, but I really hope he's been able to secure the writer or artist for Monster MD to come on. And we've talked to them before, but I hope he's going to be on the show because yeah, we had the Macho Dan was on with us when we were doing the Hero Blood of Patriots fan edition, and that was a lot of fun having Macho on, dude. And then we had
Mhm.
Doug Garrett. That was a lot of fun too. I like it. What do you
Oh,
think?
don't forget Doug Trinaple.
I just said not Doug Garrett, Doug TenNapel. I'm sorry. Um, uh,
Mhm.
yeah,
We
we
have
have
Doug Garrett
We
next
have
week,
Doug
though.
Garrett this Saturday. But I like the
Mhm.
format. I think it's really cool. Are you enjoying it?
It's really awesome. The kind of I get to butcher their characters right in front of them as they watch. It's
This
very
is true.
fun.
This is true. Now
Yeah,
George here
yeah.
is a regular on the fan edition. Actually, what do you think about the change in format where we're basically supporting the some of the indie comics that are running? What do you think about that, George?
Oh, I love it. I think it's absolutely amazing. Not only are we having fun, we're all ribbing each other, putting a little shade here and there, but we're also talking to the creator
Hmm.
of the character that we're drawing. It's fantastic.
It
And all I
is.
want to know is when are we going to schedule Joe King?
Well, you got to talk to Pixel. He's the boss on that show for sure. But you should put a bug in his ear, dude. Seriously.
Okay,
Mhm.
we'll do.
But
Go
yes.
paste them.
I look forward. I look forward to making fun of myself.
Well,
Mhm.
speak of the devil, and he appears. Hello,
Yeah.
Pixel.
Wow, look who it
Hey,
The
is.
boss is here.
hello.
Hey,
Hello,
how's it going,
hello.
man? Hey,
Look
what's
Oh,
up?
busy.
Hey, did you were you able to get the one of the creators of Monster MD on today?
Yeah, Von Klaus is going to be on tonight with you
Awesome,
guys.
awesome.
He needs you to send him the link over Hangouts. I guess you had interviewed him before,
I
so
have,
we should be
I
able.
have.
Yeah. So yeah, I just need to pass him the Hangout link. I'm gonna ping him here in just a few minutes to make sure everything is still good to go.
Mhm.
Is that
But
like a
yeah,
username, or is he extremely German?
No, he's
both.
extremely German. Yeah,
Oh,
even the later Hosen. Matter of fact,
yeah. You know one thing that
You
would
told
make
for a guy booster, you blanked out.
uh, now that's
I
okay.
was just making sure.
Today, Booster and
Yeah.
I are going to pick on his later Hosen a lot,
Mhm.
guaranteed.
I'll try to behave, but yeah, it may be very hard.
Hmm. But no,
yeah,
we had a great interview with him. I thought it was cool, and we were really excited about it.
Yeah.
Munster and MD. It's nice to see how well it's doing, and they're also it's interesting to see the collab they had with Shinobi Sasquatch too. That's another great looking book. So yeah, but we were just talking about Pixel how we love the format. We like the change, man. I mean, doing we should still do an iconic character every now and then, but I think sticking to supporting indie creators, I think it's great, man. We should keep doing that.
yeah. There's definitely a gap. I started looking at the Pro Edition, and Wonder Woman was last night, which don't get me wrong, Wonder Woman's awesome as
Yeah.
far as the timeliness of it, and I mean she's hot. But we've got a lot of people we can support and help out, and I think it would be great to share the news. So like,
I think so.
Doug Garrett's going to be on next week's show.
Sweet.
one suggestion is maybe the creators can supply us with a turnaround or some sweet images, so that way we don't have to go fishing for it.
Yeah, and actually, I had some images from Von Klaus that I didn't pass on, but all that stuff can be found on the campaign page, pretty much. But yeah, it's definitely something we can work with them on for sure.
Actually, that's a
When
good
they,
idea, George. Yeah, I
yeah,
think Pixel, you probably what you want to do is it requires a little bit more work, but I think it's worth it. But maybe in the green room, or
Yeah,
something like that. Just drop some reference imagery. That's a good idea, George. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
I'll see
really
what I can
cool.
do there. Yeah,
Yeah.
I really like that. Now, what I decided to do also, there's been a lot of talk of people wanting to have a swimsuit special, kind of a throwback to the '90s. They were
Sure.
actually talking about trying to publish one, which I thought was kind of cool. But we're gonna need artwork for it anyway. So what I'd like to do is a swimsuit special edition of D&Q, and
Mhm.
we can do that probably like 2 weeks or so. There's a couple things I've been batting around. We can go offline and talk about this later, but
Sure.
like the time trials idea where it's more like chopped, where we do that for like a special edition where it's fast artists going up against each other for like 15 minutes for certain things, and then it drills down to like a face off of two artists
Ah,
versus
yeah, that might be fun.
you
That's a
know
good idea. We should talk about that. And
yeah
I'm sure the
Iron
booster,
Chef.
I like
Iron
yeah
Iron Chef.
Chef.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm sure Booster would be 100% in support of a bikini beach version. I'm sure. Right,
oh
Booster?
yeah
Booster is getting
Yeah.
pie. I do
Oh, yes,
apologize.
absolutely. I agree. And I'd be more than happy to purse.
Bob's.
Sure, that's
So
right. Nothing wrong with that.
yeah.
Absolutely. Do keep in mind, guys, I'm glad to see so many people in here. Thank you very much. Do hit that like and sub if you can. I mean, subscription if you can. But the thing we're live streamers, so the thing that really helps us the most is hitting that share button and letting our family and friends and extended community know what we're doing so they come join us. Please do that. It's very helpful of you. We appreciate you guys coming in here with us all the time. I do see Roger is in here, Joshua's in here, Lady Celtic Moon. Hello, nice to have you. Oscar Fair Tosspot. It's been a little bit. We have Demon Demonicking. I'm not investigation. I'm not sure how that's supposed to be pronounced. But welcome. Eric is in here. Is Eric drawing today? I wonder. He might be.
Eric is not drawing. Well, he might be drawing along, but I don't think he's drawing with us.
That's all right.
But we do have 4 new artists on the show tonight.
Yeah, I was looking at the schedule earlier. Let me come back over and give it a perusal again. Let me check it real quick. I'll go over here to schedule. Yeah, no, we got today is the 6th, of course, and we have got Von Klaus is on, nice. We have Josh on as well. We got Ghost of Henry, El Guapo, nice. El Rodimus is making it, I hope. He was supposed to be on last week. Dougie, Matt C, and Facunda. Be
Who
careful of
are
that
these
one.
people, Pixel?
I don't know. Hopefully they're good, dude.
I'm
We get
scared. I don't like it.
Threats. Lots of threats.
Yeah. Well, dude,
Oh,
we are getting a lot of great artists come in. Just think about all the people that have come through the door. I mean, Matt Weldon showed up, Jim O'Reilly has shown up, Eric Hawkins here has showed up. We've
Yeah.
gotten a lot of really good artists come through the door, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've got a large crew of people now. I mean, we've got 71 people. I'm looking at our Discord right now. We've got 71 people that are offline, 10 that are online, plus there's George and a couple participants. We got about 90 to 100 people that are connected to the show now. We've grown so much in the past 8 months now that we've done 9 months, something like that.
Yeah.
It's really fun. I'm looking forward to seeing how this thing goes over the next couple of months, especially moving into the summer when people will have more time to sign up.
Yeah, no, I think it's cool. I'm loving the show. It's a fun thing to do, and I'm really glad that Booster and I are part of it. Because we need our Booster because he's our comedy kicking bag. And that's important.
yeah, everyone likes picking on me, and I can take it.
He can. Of course, that's the most important thing. He can take it.
Oh,
Goodness. And Eric says, "Don't worry, I'll be a smartass in the chat tonight." Well, thank you very much,
Oh,
sir.
perfect.
Awesome. I got Bullet in here as well. Hey, how's it going, dude? How do you
Bullet,
get on
you
the
want him in
Discord?
Discord?
Bullet.
All right,
Yeah, go
I'll get
ahead.
him in there.
You'll
I'll
take
get
care
him
of
in
it.
there.
Oh, good. There you go.
you have
Yeah,
to
but
ask me nicely.
as for anybody else, if you want to contact me to be on this show, of course, all of our Fan Speak shows are open to everybody. Understand that. We're not joking when we say that. This is a fan channel. We're not monetized. We're not going to be monetized. This is a channel just for the fans. So if you want to come up here and chat with us, you're more than welcome. Hit me up in one of those links down below. The Twitter one's the easiest one for me, I think. But definitely hit me up in that if you want to be on a show. If you want to be an artist on the fan edition, get in touch with me. You can get in touch with Pixel too. Either one of us will get you where you need to go, dude. So thank you guys very much for that. But Other than that, we do need to be moving on to our news that we do have for today, but just make sure everyone's feeling good. You feeling good, George? George? I'm going to get to 3, I know.
Yes, yes, right here. I didn't want to
Oh,
do that clanking and clicking of cooking while we're doing the show.
Okay. Well, thank you, George. That's very nice. Are you ready? You're feeling good today? You good to go?
Oh yes, absolutely.
yeah, we're good. We're good.
All right, we're good. So let me just get into it then, because I know Dinale's good. He's always sitting there ready. He's probably fuming at me, which he does a lot. I understand that. He's usually angry with me because Chester does something wrong here or there. But I'm a free man, Dinale. That's what I have to say to that. Anyway, let's start out with this, because this is just this is what the world should be, I think. Hold on a second. Let me bring this over real quick. Oh, and let's do this here. All right. Well, I'm going to share with our panel. Now, keep in mind, guys, that the new format I have to have this set up, I'm having to do a little bit differently because I'm having some problems as usual. But you guys, if you want to see what I am sharing, just click white box me. That is going to be the most direct way for you to do that. But let's come over here.
White box. I see.
Yes, white box.
White.
All right. Here we go. Boom. We are ready to go. Dinale.
Oh.
Dinale.
Yeah.
What is this
Yep.
noise about, dude?
Well, both the creators, Rick, Remember, and I think creator Brent Morrison tweeted out that yes, Deadly Class and Happy has been canceled at Sci-Fi, and they're looking for a new network. So no more of these shows as Sci-Fi, and we'll see if they are able to be picked up by another network or a streaming network or whatever.
Well, I live outside of the country, so a lot of those kind of things get thrown on Netflix anyway. I've never seen
Yeah.
Deadly Class, but I've seen Happy. So let's start with Deadly Class, I guess. Anybody here has seen? I haven't seen it at all. I know the comic it's coming out of, but I haven't seen the show at all. What do you guys think about it?
I've heard of it. There's even one episode that actually has a Cerebus the Aardvark splattered all over the scenery when they go to a comic book store. So I thought that was cool because the whole season takes place in the 80s, but there's just nothing there to hook me. I mean, I would try to watch all comic book-ish sci-fi stuff, but I just don't see what the hook is.
Well, I had the feeling I haven't seen it is the problem. I know Happy. I don't know the other one, but my feeling was it was just another teeny bopper drama, right? With I'm sure touches of wokeness because everything is infected these days. But I thought it was just I assumed it was just a teeny bopper drama. Is this true or not true? Because, like, for instance, we talked about Doom Patrol yesterday, and that's not a teeny bopper drama at all, right? Whereas Titans was, right? And which was, of course, Titans also was horrible. But Denali, tell us about Deadly Class. What did you think about it?
It was kind of boring to say the least because, I mean, these are horrible people doing horrible things, and it's kind of hard to get invested in these characters because, unfortunately, the writer isn't good. Who's also the writer of the comic book isn't good in making deconstructed heroes, kind of like Grant Morrison, where the person might be a-hole, but he's a likable a-hole.
Well, does it
And
have a lot of the mean girl in it type of stuff?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
girls with deadly violence, they kill each other off.
Yeah, that's just old and annoying.
Yeah.
Pixel seems to had liked the first episode. What'd you think, Pixel? Did I lose Pixel?
No, I'm still here. I was
Oh.
just talking about Booster taking a potty break. No, well, I mean, it was kind of setting up the character, so I like the whole idea of, and hopefully I'm thinking of the same show. This is the one where it's like the school where all the students are like murderers, right?
Well,
Right.
their parents are like assassins and stuff, right?
Right. Like the
Yeah.
kid gets picked up by the school or whatever, and there were some certain elements of the like the visuals and stuff that I really liked.
Mhm.
I thought the cinematography and stuff was good. The story, again, coming from it as an artist more than than anything else, I liked some of the visuals and I liked the way that the characters were being handled. But uh, overall, the story didn't hook me. I
Mhm.
didn't feel the need to watch beyond that first movie or the first episode that I saw.
Oh, I see. I see. Yeah, and like I said, I haven't seen any direct access for me for it, so that's why I haven't seen it at all. I can comment on Happy though. The first season of Happy was wonderful. It was really great. And here's a little interesting thing. We have writers in Hollywood, of course, and some of them are the very flamboyant homosexual type, right? And this doesn't mean anything usually, right? I mean, I think about some of my wife and I's favorite movies, right? The Birdcage, Hedwig and the Angry Inch, etc. These stories are about gay people and their life and the dramas in their thing, and they're done in a wonderfully amazing way. I love those movies because it doesn't matter. It's just a really good story that happens to be surrounding, talking about gay people and their issues. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's fun, actually. If you haven't seen The Birdcage with Robin Williams and Nathan Lane, or Hedwig and the Angry Inch, that is a wonderful cult classic, by the way. Go check it out, man. Those movies kick, man. But the problem is we get when they start trying, and this doesn't isn't necessarily have anything to do with gays particularly, but when you have someone who's trying to educate you and preach to you, things start to go off the line. There, and I mention that because Doom Patrol obviously was written from a very homosexual point of view, and half the episodes do a really good job. It's fine, and then the other half become very preachy, unfortunately. And the reason I mention this is because Happy is obviously being written by the same type of folks, right? Whereas in season one, it came off wonderfully. And nice, but season two is extremely preachy. It's obvious that they just cannot get over Trump. Oh my God, how dare Trump exist? And they just went that SJW get woke go broke. So Happy season two is absolute disaster, man, and it's unfortunate too because the season one was so good, and it's obviously the same writers. You know what I mean? So I'm not signaling out necessarily the homosexual aspect of it. I'm trying to demonstrate that you can do that just fine, and we'll love it, right? But in the season two, it's about educating the ignorant, and that's where they went wrong. And to be fair, Happy deserves to be canceled because season two is a real train wreck. Well, that's what I think anyway. You know what I mean? Anybody have any opinion on that?
I say ditto.
Yeah.
There's nothing I don't disagree with.
Yeah,
When you're starting to preach to the audience, that's when you lose them, and
it is.
there's no moving forward. That's why people don't like Christian movie because they end up being preaching instead of telling
That's
a story.
exactly right. Exactly right. And it's also it makes the homosexual community look bad. I think it hurts them actually when they do this kind of stuff, right? Because like I said, there's no way you can go watch the Birdcage or Hedwig or any of the other ones like that, or say Rocky Horror Picture Show. There's no way you can go watch that and not come away happy because those movies are happy. They're fun. They're great movie. I mean, Birdcage is truly an outstanding movie in and of
Oh, it's a Robin
itself.
Williams film.
Yeah,
It's a
well, that's
Robin
true. But I mean, but it embraces it, celebrates it, and this is something we can enjoy, right? Whereas in, like, say, Doom Patrol, right? There's several ridiculous issues. They go episodes in there that are just absolutely preachy. But then they have Danny Street, which is really a throwaway episode, but that is a celebration of homosexuality and transgenderism and stuff like that. It's actually a celebration. It's a fun episode, right? And I'm just saying that this is a mistake. It hurts your cause if it is a cause you're taking up, and they shouldn't do that, dude. And Happy
They've
really got
forgotten to
screwed
have
up.
fun.
They forgot to
That's
have
what
fun,
that's what
yeah. And it's not fair to anybody involved, and it's really too bad because I loved Happy season one. I mean, talk about great pacing. That was a good show, man. And they screwed it up. What about you, Pixel? You still here? You got an opinion on this?
I actually never watched Happy,
Yeah.
so I don't have an opinion, unfortunately.
Well, it is a hard juxtaposition, dude. Season one has a lot of that in it, and it works, really works. It's good. And season 2 is all about get woke, go broke. We're going to educate you morons, you horrible humans. How dare you be a white conservative Nazi? And that's what they're doing. And it's not even subtle. It's just slapping at you, right?
Yeah, that sucks. I
It
can
does suck.
comment at least on that. That sucks. And unfortunately, you're seeing that with a lot of media lately, where they're all trying to bandwagon that same sentiment, and it'll work for them for a little bit, but it's going to come back and bite them all in the ass.
It is because they seem to, and I'm only it's only because we're talking about Happy. There's plenty of other SJWs, and it has nothing to do with homosexuality whatsoever. Has nothing to do with it, right? These do though, is why I brought it up, and it really sucks because, the majority of us, we don't care at all who you have sex with. We really don't. And we've had plenty of fun. I mean, think of some of the great fun movies that are definitely gay or drag queen centered. I mean, what was that movie that came out a long time ago? It had Chi Chi in it, and it had our Roadhouse guy in it, and they're all drag
Patrick
queens.
Swayze, yeah,
Yeah,
Wesley
Patrick
Snipes.
Swayze, Wesley Snipes. What was that flick?
With I
Oh,
think with
gosh, gosh.
love,
Something. Yeah, it was some Rita
yeah,
Hayworth or some kind of character, right?
no, it wasn't Rita, but yeah, it was
Yeah,
like with
something
all
like that.
loves.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that one, Pixel? George?
Uh, Drawing a blank on it.
Yeah,
No,
that is a
no, no.
great flick, dude.
It's
Thanks
not. It's,
for everything. Thanks for everything, Julie
Newmar.
Newmar.
Julie Newmar, yeah.
Big art.
That
yeah, no, I didn't see it.
Now
Tu
that
Wong
movie
Fu.
takes a bunch of dudes who are not gay and puts them in drag, but they sell it, especially Leguizamo. Right, Leguizamo sells the hell out of that as Chi-Chi. But that's a fun movie, right? It's fun, you know and it's this is how you do that. If that's what you want to do, if you want to celebrate that world, then celebrate it, right? Have fun with it. Let us have fun with it. Don't sit there and come at us. And this is what killed Happy, and it pisses me off because I liked Happy. I thought it was really cool. But this second season is an absolute nightmare. And the thing that's even worse about it, the show is called Happy. It is about the imaginary friend, Happy. But this season has hardly anything to do with Happy. It's so disjointed away from the imaginary character that it's like, why do you bother to even call it Happy? It doesn't make sense now. Whereas in the first season, it was this beautiful arc for Happy and Haley and Nick. It was a really good show. But anyway,
Hi.
hey,
Whoa,
long time no see.
Chairman.
Yeah, it's been a while. I needed a break. I had a lot of busy things going on still, and just sometimes you really do have to pull away for perspective. And there's as you're talking, and I have not seen Happy, but what I did do was I saw something else yesterday. I saw I streamed the America's Got Talent premiere, and I was watching a week late because once again I got life. So what I found out when I watched this was that there's a person out there by the name of Robin Diamonds. And this particular drag queen, right? I was going to say man, but can you even say that these days? So it's a drag queen. He's got a full beard and fabulous hair. He's about 7 foot tall,
Jeez.
big hairy chest. Yeah. Big hairy chest um and long feminine legs. So anyways, I watched this and it was interesting, and I enjoyed it. The dynamic between what was going on with the judges and the audience and this particular performer, and then the performer then did the performance. It was fun, and it was done with that. And I sat back. It went to commercial, and I realized something, that here you've got this drag queen with a beard and feminine features and male features all amalgam together. And I'm enjoying it because I can enjoy entertainment. At no point, right, did anyone ever mention anything about you have to enjoy this, you have to accept my lifestyle, you do this. It was just pure entertainment. I turned to my wife and I said, this is what the whole, LGQI movement, really should be. Just be you.
That's right. Yeah.
And
And
and and then us, and then people who will enjoy what you're doing will, those who won't, and we all get along, and we all have fun with entertainment and everything that we're doing. And of course now as you're saying, Happy 2 sounds like they're not doing that. They're doing that. It's not really it's not really. We use the term get woke and go broke, and I'm glad I've taken some time off, because it's kind of like cleansed me from a little bit of just this constant bombardment, and I'm seeing things just I wouldn't say clear, but a little bit different, maybe refreshed. And we use the term get woke and go broke, but it's not that they are. They're wanting to push that. Have you ever? Anyone have children? I know Chester has some children. I have children.
Yeah.
There's a time frame when a child is about 3. They understand, or maybe even 2. They understand you're sleeping, and they will come into the room, and they will take their tiny little fingers, and they will pry your eyelid open while you're sleeping.
Yep.
and they'll look at you and they'll say, "Are you awake?" And it's just like, what in the world? It is shocking, and it is terrorizing, because you got someone's fingers right at your eye, and they're making you wake up, and they're doing that.
Yeah.
And yes, and of course, what we're seeing in the culture, though, is they're doing this with forks instead of tiny little cute fingers, wake, So it's not them getting woke; it's they want to woke us, and we don't even know what woke at this point even means anymore. But I just wanted to share that. It kind of fit in, I thought, where you were at, what you were talking about.
Well, and I think another thing that comes into play is they act like this is something new. It's not. It's not new at all, right? I mean, we've been seeing interaction from all different kinds of people my entire life. So it's like they think it's all they're all unique and original and stuff they're doing. But the real problem is the point of hate, and that's the thing I really took out of Happy Season 2 was the hate, and that's not good, man. We don't need your hate. We really don't. We really, really don't. But anyway, it's really sad. I don't know about Deadly Class. Sorry, guys, I didn't get a chance to see that. But I'm very sad about Happy, and it is unfortunate. But let's move on to the next one here for sure. And this one's a happier news, maybe. Dinale?
Well, from Cosmic Book News, Netflix is developing a Jurassic World animated series. So it's coming out soon, maybe next year, to 2020.
Camp Cretaceous.
Camp Cretaceous.
Camp Cretaceous. Well, yeah, because it's not Jurassic. I get that old meme. It's been going on since the beginning. And that is definitely a nerd argument. But they are correct.
Yeah, and this is part of the multi-deal that they struck with DreamWorks when they first announced it, like back in 2015 or whatever. So this is one of the deals that they made back.
Well, see, the thing is, I don't know that I'd mind it. I don't know why it's Jurassic World and not Jurassic Park. I guess it's probably all about the modern packaging. But unfortunately, the new reboot that they're doing is not as good as the original. But it doesn't matter. I think it could be fun. If this is the style they're going with here, I'm looking at. I like it. It looks cool. Let me see what happens when I click on that. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I like it. Look at it. That's a nice art style, dude. If that's what we get.
Yeah.
It's animated?
Yeah, it's an animated series. Yeah.
3D. Yeah.
Yeah, aimed for kids and teenagers.
Well, 3D can be bad. The CG stuff can be bad, but it also can be really good, depending, right? My kids, though, my kids are real strict about that. They're of course big anime fans, and anytime an anime comes up that has the kind of CG skin on it because it's cheaper, they hate it. I mean, they're just purist. I don't know why, because some of them I like actually. Like, well, anyway, I'm not going to get in that conversation, but I like the look of it. I think this is a painting, I realize, but if they can pull that off, I think that might be cool, actually.
Actually, I think that's a rendering. I don't think it's painting.
You think it's a render? Well, all right, there you go.
I think it's a render.
I'll take your word on it.
How many of these kids here get eaten?
None
Oh,
of them.
wait.
Yeah,
Oh,
probably
hold on.
not.
There's an actual trailer. Hold
Uh,
on a second. I didn't know there was an actual trailer.
I'm just saying. I mean, Jurassic everything is all about people getting eaten and dying and stuff.
Yeah,
So
sure. That's the whole point, right? Yeah. Don't play God, right? That's the whole point of the series.
Right.
Well, let's watch the trailer
oh, but
right
we're
here,
gonna start
real quick.
doing that now.
Let's watch the trailer, okay? Here we go. You guys ready? I didn't know we were gonna have a trailer today, but we got one. The Xenozoic Park. Nice bullet. All right, here we go. Let's watch this trailer. Okay, it's coming out of Spielberg. All right. The evolution.
Yeah.
Oh, this is really early and rough. Oh yeah, this is really early. Why did they do that, I wonder? Why did they put up trailers that are so early?
That still looks good.
It does, but you can tell it's not finished.
That's some nice fern.
It is a nice fern, I agree. Well, that didn't tell us anything. That was useless.
Except someone's gonna get eaten.
Someone's going to get eaten,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it'd be fun, though. I mean, I like the
It'll be
Jurassic
all
Park.
the adults. It'll be all the adults, and all these kids has to survive
Yeah, I'm
on their
sure.
lonesome self.
I'm sure. And that's not necessarily bad. That could be fun. Yeah. But I think the
No, they're
general
not gonna
is
do eating and stuff, and then the dinosaurs are gonna come out. They're gonna start talking and stuff.
Oh, okay,
We're
maybe,
back.
maybe.
A dinosaur story.
The only
Oh,
problem
God.
is this is Netflix.
Oh God.
And Netflix is extremely hit and miss, dude. I mean, extremely, radically from, pretty good to really bad. So that's the only issue that comes on my mind. But I do have to say that the animated stuff that Netflix has got behind with their original anime and stuff like that is actually not bad. So that makes me a little positive about it. But I think it's cool. We'll pay attention to it and see what happens of it. But it sounds fun. What do you think, Pixel?
You know,
I'm down, man.
Yeah.
I went and watched it on YouTube just now because it was lagging locally here, but the visual looks okay. Looks like they might have used one of the models from the previous movie even. It's kind of hard to say for sure though, but Netflix. You're right. It's hit and miss. But did you see what was it? Love, Death, and Robots or
Oh, I
something like
loved
that?
it. Loved it. Yeah. Not
That was
everyone was super awesome, but I loved that. Yeah.
right. That was hit and miss too, but it showed the potential for 3D
Yeah.
specifically to be
Yeah.
able to do compelling storytelling, and some of the realistic stuff worked just as well as some of the cartoony stuff. So I mean, as long as they got good writers on the show, some episodes are going to suck, some episodes are going to be great. I'm willing to give it a shot.
Sure. And I love that little anthology they put together in Love, Death, and Robots. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Particularly when they're on the alien planet and they're fighting the aliens, the farmers. That was fun. I
Yes.
love that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one's great.
I'm sorry, DeWolf. Go ahead, dude.
you know what this reminds me of? You remember watching Rambo,
Yeah.
right? And the movie, and it's gritty and action and pow pow pow. And then there was a Rambo cartoon, Saturday morning cartoon. And so I realized this is what this reminds me of. You take something that's absolutely action, killing, death, and everything, and I was just making fun of that. But then you turn it completely around, and you make something like this, where it's more kid-like, and it takes the aspect and just sort of turns it completely around into something different and I guess more whimsical and fun. And that happened a lot. I mean, there was the Ghostbusters. I mentioned Rambo, but there was various other entities that happened where one media completely changed once they created
Sure.
usually a cartoon
Oh,
out of it.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right
Yeah,
off the bat.
exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
that was like gritty and
Comic book, yeah.
very adult, and it became pizza eating fun time.
And it was great. I love the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
The Ghostbusters TV show was really fun. I didn't care for the Rambo animated series, to be fair, but I mean, I didn't. But then again, I didn't like the. I loved watching wrestling, but I didn't like the wrestling cartoon they had either. With
Right.
Lou
How dare
Albano
you, sir?
and Hulk Hogan. I didn't care for it very much, but I mean, I think I was just the kind of kid I was. And yeah, Joshua, there was a Rambo cartoon for sure, dude. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah, I didn't like it either. But I get your point, and we'll see where they go with this. But you never know, because DeWolf, a lot of the anime, the Netflix original anime, is not for kids at all, dude. It's quite adult,
Oh
actually.
yeah, I know. That's my point. Yeah. Well, but that's anime, and the style of this just looks like. I mean, come on, it's dinosaurs. You have
Hmm.
to get kids involved, and once you do that, then you get merchandising,
Sure, sure.
and you create something a lot bigger. And especially if you can make it without all the death and stuff,
Hmm.
you can get it down to younger and younger kids, and then they just can have fun with it, and then it turns into exactly what I said, where it's an entirely new type of product.
Yeah, and to be fair, the series needs a lot of help. It does, and if this is good and fun and helps support the series, that's awesome. Because the thing it kills me, and Jurassic World, the reboot of Jurassic World, I think is a good example of this. Have you guys seen The Predator, the newest one, the 2018 one?
That was
Yeah.
horrible.
Right. It's horrible. And when you think about why is it horrible? Well, the CG is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Special effects are fine. The problem with it, it is so poorly written. It is nonsensical. It's kind of like those damn Transformer movies. They don't make any sense. They don't follow a coherent path. And the Predator did the exact same thing. It doesn't make sense. Half the stuff they're doing doesn't make sense. You can't ask us to break our disbelief every other scene. You can't do that, right? And it's
Yeah,
basic
yeah.
storytelling. And the Predator is a perfect example of incompetent people involved in something, right?
Well,
And
and
Jurassic World,
part
to
of
a lesser extent, is the same problem.
right, and part of the Predator was that they showed too much of the monster. Monster was more effective when it was actually an effective hunter
Mhm.
hunting the commandos down. This one, they show the Predator in full glory that it didn't make any sense why he's hiding in the first place if he's just gonna show where he's at, you know?
Oh yeah, no, I mean, we're not going to get into a review of the Predator, but I mean, there is so much of absolute ignorance and stupidity in that movie. He's supposed to be there to introduce some way for humans to protect themselves, but yet he goes around and kills every human he comes in contact with, pretty much. So it's like, did you not read your own script? I mean, obviously. But I mean, the reason I mention that is because that's an extreme example of a AAA movie, because they spent a lot of money on that, and it's shocking. But the Jurassic World reboot has very similar trouble with it. It's not coherent. It's not well written. And it's a problem. And hopefully, this show will be able to maybe fix on that. But we do need to move on to other things because we got a few more stories to get to. But nevertheless,
Right.
good luck, I guess, because I hope it's cool.
Yep.
Denali?
From Newsarama, Joker, Bird of Prey, Wonder Woman 1984 is skipping Comic Con Hall H.
Mm,
So Warner Brothers are taking a page out of Sony and Disney and not going to
yeah.
be in attendance
Yeah.
for this year's Comic Con.
Can you believe that Sony is not going to be at E3? I mean, I mean, unbelievable, right? I mean, it's shocking to me, but they're not going to be there. And it's the same thing Disney did, right? I mean, they think, oh well, we're big enough, we can do our own thing. And it's just like all these streaming channels that are coming out. They think we're actually going to pay for all of them. We're not. We're not going to do it, guys. But having something like a San Diego Comic Con or any other Comic Con, a place where you can all come together and share the area is good for everybody. But I think they're forgetting this somehow. What do you think about this, George? George?
Yeah, yeah, no. It's like a better description. It's a shot in the head.
It is.
You gotta maintain constant contact with your audience. Right? If you have a null time in there, you gotta fill it up. They're not doing that. They think they're so big and mighty, and the be end that end all. There's other product out there that will grab people's attention if you
Oh yeah.
don't be top of mind.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate because the thing about San Diego Comic-Con that's different than the other ones, it's not just the absolute sheer numbers that show up in San Diego. It's but this the San Diego Comic-Con as well as E3, which is coming out here in a few days. These things are on the internet more so than any of the other ones. You can go watch pretty much all of E3 and San Diego Comic-Con on the internet. You don't have to be there, and you can see all the shows, you can see all the presentations, all the new stuff. There's tons of information. Whereas, say, New York Comic Con is hardly covered at all. It's not as easy to find information. So that's one of the benefits of that of the of the Comic Con and particularly E3. You can sit at home and enjoy it as well. So this is a real strange choice for me. But to be fair though, Joker, Birds of Prey, and Wonder Woman 1984, I am not interested at all anyway. So in a way, it kind of I don't care, and now I'm going to care less because you're giving away an opportunity for me to be made to care. And now I'm sure they're going to do their own show, and it's like, am I going to know when it's coming? Is it going to be? Am I going to be able to have it on my schedule and know, or am I going to catch it secondhand by watching some news thing and it missed live or what have you? Right? It's not smart. I don't like it. Aside from the fact that I'm not really interested in any of this stuff anyway, and I thought that Birds of Prey was canceled,
Nope.
so it's back
Apparently
on.
not.
Yep, it's back on
All right then, make up their damn
until they
mind.
recancel it. Until they recancel it,
So
just like the Phoenix.
Yeah, that will. Yeah,
I've got a different take on this.
mhm.
And
All right.
so, granted that Comic Con has kind of been a media sensation type show for a long time.
Yeah.
But like last year, Marvel pulled out at least the movie side of stuff. Like they didn't really show anything at Comic Con. They barely had a presence there as well.
That's right.
But because I go to the show pretty much every year, it's been really interesting to see the shift. I actually like this move mostly because I want to see more focus put back on the books. I don't care
I
about
see.
the movie nearly as much. I want to see this become more centric to comics. Granted, I know it's a comic movie. I know it's related to it. It's media. It's all that good stuff. But it's gone so far away from the comic creators and the stories and stuff that are being done there, and it's become more of a spectacle where the stars and stuff are getting all the attention. It doesn't feel like comics anymore. It feels like media. It feels like movies and games and stuff like that. I don't really have a problem with this happening because I'd rather, learn more about the books themselves.
The Comic Con side I agree with, and that's what the article is about. The E3 one I agree less with.
Right.
But yeah,
Well,
no, I get what you're
E3
saying
is a
there.
whole different story. Yeah.
Yeah.
E3 being what it is. I mean, it's E3. Why would you not, as a major provider for games and stuff, not be there?
But they're not, right? I mean, at least
Yeah.
Nintendo, they stopped spending all the money on renting the halls and they saved a bunch of cash doing that. But they still do the Treehouse presentation during E3, right? Every year. So we do get something from Nintendo and it's fine. But PlayStation isn't doing that at all. They just pulled right the hell out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird, and we know they have a PlayStation 5 announcement this year. We know that. So when are they going to do that? They going to do that in their February shareholders meeting that they usually stream live? Is that when they're going to do it? We're going to have to wait to February to hear anything.
Don't they have a Japanese expo coming soon?
Oh well, but that's a different conversation. I'm talking about the international English-speaking world. I mean, here Japan has a
Right.
lot more content than the West has, but that's
But you got to
different.
remember, Japan cares only for Japan customers, so I wouldn't be
That's right.
surprised if they're going to announce all those information to the Japan people first.
Yeah, but see, the things that you would care about, the Japanese don't care about anyway. They really don't. I mean, so,
Right.
but it is a very different world. It doesn't apply actually directly.
Mm.
But you are right, though. That is true. Yeah.
So, as far as I'm concerned, this particular story is about the movies, and I just want to make sure
It is. It is.
that's put out there. And I think when you take comic book characters, like Pixel was saying, they're comic book characters, and you're not going to have them at a comic book convention. I think, and I think Pixel has something there as far as making sure that the original genre is lifted up a little bit more, the comic books instead of just movies and actors and such. But I think that this actually shows a disconnect between the studios and the Hollywood portion of it and the comic book portion of it. And we've known there's been a disconnect, but for them just to say we're not doing this, that means there's no internal promotion, there's no cross promotion,
Mhm.
and that's just idiotic. We've been saying that about MCU for years. That when you have a movie coming out, there should be a writing team for the comics and artists standing by. They get some scripts, they know what's going to happen. They start writing books, and then when the movie is over, you get comic books that are in the MCU 19999 right world, that is that timeline, and it fills in the gaps. It gives you a couple of comic books, maybe not monthly, but a few of them in there. Iron Man, after Iron Man 1, goes and takes out a few more terrorists and does this, that, and the other,
Mhm.
and takes out some more warlords and the like, so that when we see Iron Man 2 and he says he's now capitalized world peace, privatized world peace, you got something there. And here we have that same thing going on. You don't have any of the comic industry and the movie industry, the media is getting together to make bigger products and increase fandom. So what they're doing is saying, we don't care about that. We have our trailers, we have our movie thing, and they're doing their own thing. And of course, the people that lose out in the end, of course, are just us, the fans.
True. Very true.
Well, I would quote to Kevin Smith, one of his early interviews when he was crossovering from comic to movies. He generally said, and this is one of his early podcasts, which is relevant to what you're saying. Yeah, Hollywood has a general disdain with comic book writers. They're lower
They
life
do.
forms, and they don't really care.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
let me come over here to chat real quick, and because so there's several comments in here that are very similar to what DeWolf and Pixel had just said. Let's start with Joshua here. He says more room for stuff that like maybe actual comics at a Comic Con, and this is of course what these two guys have said as well. But here's the thing, guys. Comic books are really doing very poorly right now. Very, very poorly. They need the arm up from the movies, I feel. I understand the argument, and I think you're right. But because comics are doing so horribly, which it's shocking because in this age you would think they'd be doing great, but because they are doing so horribly, they need that leg up, that help from the other things, I think. But it's
Oh, you
okay.
want them to be there to help them out, right?
Yes, I
Yeah.
do.
I
Yes.
see what you're
Uh,
saying.
uh,
Well,
yeah.
And Disney was a thing that, see, Disney does this. Disney puts out their movie and they create more marketing based upon characters because, of course, they're one entity. But I mean, when I say Disney, I mean like years before, 80s and 90s, right? You had more products coming out surrounding one type of genre, and products were just across the board, you know, and we're not seeing that anymore.
Yeah, and Bullet just made a quick comment. Comics are fighting for scraps. I get it's a hard situation. I get the argument on both sides. I don't know what's right and what's wrong. Removing these things from and letting comics stand on their own, maybe it'll be a good thing. I don't know. But Bullet, he says it's not a trade show anymore. They used to do business. Now it's just a stage show. This is true. Judge the
Yeah.
Question, who is definitely not Eagle 43, says, but seriously, the console keep having fewer and fewer games to show off, especially exclusives. They probably have nothing new to show. That has been true. But this year actually is a big year for games. Game announcements and game releases. There's a lot of stuff coming out, and Roger Heller does say they have the Sony PlayStation experience, which, like I said, I thought that was February, and there, but I don't know where I saw it. Harry Joshua. At least the Avengers project is supposed to be at E3, finally, and of course the Avengers project is a really big looking, Marvel comic book video game, and we haven't seen a big video game from them in quite a while. They've been doing the mobile crap for years and years now. So
Ugh.
this is exciting. you're right. And of course, I don't want us to conflate Comic-Con and E3. It's my fault. I did that. But I think it's all relevant, though. You know, I can
Yeah, yeah.
feel Pixel chomping at the bit. Go ahead, dude.
No. I'm just sitting here thinking. I mean, the PlayStation thing, I would really like for them to come in and say, kind of like they dropped the bomb on the Saturn and actually give us a price that's not going to completely kill anybody. Like, if they were to just show up and say $299 again or something and just flip everybody out, but that's not going to happen.
No, I have a feeling we're looking at $500 for the next consoles, dude.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think you're right, and
Yeah.
that's just the way it's going to be moving forward.
Yeah,
I wish they wouldn't usher in this next generation of consoles yet. I still think there's plenty of power that they could get out of their PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One X, for instance. There's so much there still.
There
they should
is.
focus on the games.
But to be fair, though, they are on a schedule. They do come out with new consoles that are set in a pretty standard schedule. So it's not like it's not like it's being rushed. They are on
Sure.
schedule, because we're looking at a 2020 release, right?
Yeah,
So it's
I
okay.
guess. I guess the thing for me is like back in the late '90s, when technology was blowing up. I mean, you had the Intel chips, the Pentium 3 had just come out.
Right.
And it went from that exploded. All of a sudden, we're getting dual core, 3 core. It just went completely nuts for a period there, and the technology was advancing super, super fast. It's not really that fast anymore. The innovation is really just kind of piling on more RAM or piling on something else, but there's not like a massive paradigm shift in the amount of power kind of thing that's there. So that release cycle could be expanded, I think, a little bit more. You don't have to put these machines out so quickly. But
Yeah, I
I
get
know,
your point.
latest and
That's true.
greatest.
Although I
Whatever.
do think in the interim, though, we did get the SSD, and that made a big difference, in my opinion, with the hard drive speeds and interactive stuff. We do have new USBs. What are we up to? USB 4 now? I
Solid
mean,
states, yeah.
Solid
yes,
state, yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm just
solid.
saying that there have been some updates, pretty significant ones since the PlayStation 4 came out.
Yeah, in solid state in a console, I think would be fantastic. I think
Yes,
it would
yes, yes,
definitely
yes,
improve load
yes.
times and things for sure. Yeah.
Matter of fact, if they don't do it, someone needs to go over there and smack them in the head.
Well,
To
I
be
think
fair.
that's one of the rumor things for the new console for Xbox and PlayStation 5 was solid state drives. I could be mistaken, but that was one of the rumors they were circulating.
Yeah, well, there was
Well, I can do a
rumors about
whole.
that for the PlayStation for the what was that, X1 or whatever, when that came out. They were talking about that kind of stuff too. But I think they probably will. It would be weird, Thundero we're completely off this conversation here, but that's okay. Thundero says, I wish they would raise the price of games around $10 or so, and then stop with all the microtransaction crap. And yes, I know
Yeah,
they are going to do that. But it would be nice. But the problem is they're
Yeah.
making money. You want to blame people for all this nonsense that's going on. You know who to blame? It's those damn FIFA people, the Madden people, the NBA games people. It's their fault. It's
So
their
we need to
fault.
blame EA. Well, EA is the villain anyway. It always
Well,
has been. So
they are, but
yeah.
I mean, can you
They're
really blame them? I mean, look at the money they're making off the damn soccer people, dude.
right. They're making like $1 billion plus more money over on top of the games. The game is just like pennies compared to the transaction. That's why loot boxes and everything has become so pervasive in games.
yeah.
That's true. Yeah. And Thundero, I saw this little clip they put up too, Thundero. He says the CEO of Sony PlayStation said that it's 15 times faster than the regular HDD. And I saw the little clip where they were showing load times, where they were, instead of having, 10 to 30 seconds in some cases for some loads, which is ridiculous, they were literally in a second or two. It was loading. So it does seem to be much
Yeah.
faster. That was a Japanese meeting that got leaked, actually. But
Right.
here's the thing I would say for all of that. Just PC. Just go to the PC. PC overlords will take care of you. We will embrace you and love you. Because
Yeah.
why are you bothering? You know?
What's your thought, Jim?
Jim.
Jim just dropped.
Oh, okay. Well, interesting conversation though. Definitely. Well, let's see how it all works out. Particularly for me, because I'm geared up for E3. And do keep in mind here on this show, of course, we're going to keep doing the stuff we do, but I will definitely have E3 content on this show, guys. I'm a big fan of games. I play a lot of video games. I think many of us here do. I know Pixel does. Booster's a big time gamer. He's a pretty good gamer actually. But I love that stuff, and I watch E3 religiously every year. So I'll definitely do some content this year, kind of covering the conference. But let's move on to our next story because we don't have much time.
Right.
Let me see. Do I want to do this one? That's kind of, I
Yeah.
don't know. Just mention it real quick. It's not very interesting, but
I mean, this is connected to what we were just talking about.
it is. Yeah.
Basically, Patty Jenkins is showing off Wonder Woman's golden high fashion armor. Just to say, sorry guys, that we're not going to be in H Hall, but here's a little sneak image
Oh
of what
wow, that armor is
they're
pretty
going to
good,
do.
Denali, because it makes her bobs look bigger than they are. She's a model. She doesn't have really big bobs. It helps
Mhm.
though. It does.
We can fix that. We have
We
the
can
technology.
fix that. We have the technology. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Gal Gadot is an interesting little story, though, isn't it, guys? Because,
It's
we were all worried about her, but in the end, she turned out to be okay.
yes.
Just okay.
Yeah, just
No,
okay.
she's better than okay.
I don't
I
think
still
so.
can't get over the
But
fact of the Israeli soldier concept. Come on, just okay.
Yeah, she's
but
hot.
see, I'm happy for anyone who enjoys her because I think she did a good job. She went beyond my expectations, dude. Way beyond them. So good for her. Good for her. And she's really good about not getting pulled into the hardcore, Me Too and SJW stuff. I mean, she'll kind of nod her
There
head
you
a couple
go.
of times, but in general, she's just an actress. You know. But I mean, come on, you must have been worried. We saw her in Fast and Furious and how horrible that was, and how scrawny she was. But she picked it up, dude. She took it seriously. Good for her. You know, right?
Right.
Good for
Yeah,
her.
good for her,
Good
dude.
for her.
Yeah, good for her. And I
Much
like the suit.
appreciated.
It
Good for
looks
us.
good.
Yeah.
Sweet. Let's move on here. Denali.
So we talked
Really?
about this before, and we already knew that they were canceling Swamp Thing because they said that they stopped production at episode 10, and it was all but confirmed that they were canceled. It was up in the air.
Hmm.
But in case people didn't pick up on that subtext, when they halted production
Hmm.
and they're not giving any more funding, and they said that's it, that means cancel. But confirmed, DC Universe has already canceled Swamp Thing. It's only 10 episodes. That's all you're getting.
Now, and who of us here, including the chat, have
It,
seen the pilot? Raise your hand. Let me see him. Raise your hand. Okay.
Mm.
There's a few of you. Um, that was a pretty good trailer. I mean, it had its issues, but it's a pilot. Pilots, they try to scrunch everything they can in to get the whole story to sell it, right? But that episode had a real John Carpenter's The Thing feel to it. I liked it. I thought it was cool. I mean, I really think they needed to take making him Swamp Thing and stretch it out or 2 or 3 episodes to be fair. But I liked the feel. I was like, ooh, this looks cool. I like the idea, and then they cancel it before we even really see it. I mean, why?
Yeah, I haven't
Why?
seen it. The trailer looked awesome. Though.
Because they couldn't get past the old school feel, is my off the wall guess. With everything SJW nowadays, they couldn't just make it what it was. It wasn't. It's not environmentalism, right? It's not the Toxic Avenger. It's not. So it's him and who he is, and they couldn't get it out of that era and press it forward with it being Swamp Thing.
They don't have to do a retro piece if that's what you want. I would
You
love to
can't
see
do
Swamp Thing.
that.
Why not? Set it in the 60s or 70s.
Me
That would have been
too,
awesome, dude.
Chester. Me too.
All right, fine.
Thundaro. Literally no one cares about Swamp Thing, guys. It's a niche character times 1 billion.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah.
Oh, I see. I don't know. I'm a big Swamp Thing fan. I would have liked to seen a cool Swamp Thing, and I liked what they were doing with it. In the pilot, it's just unfortunate to me. And maybe you're right, DeWolf. Maybe it's just simply doesn't fit
Yeah.
within their narrative. But it's too bad. Like I said, the thing feel they had to it, I think was, ooh, that's a cool direction, man. I'd like to see him go with that. You know?
Yeah, yeah. And Thunder was right, except the fact that if you did it, because I said Guardians of the Galaxy, if you did it, he would be created. He would create into something that you could put with, like, well, imagine him being with the Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman somehow, like they want to merge them all together. It's an entirely different, unique dynamic that would bring in. But I don't think they could. They can't make Swamp Thing with Ezra Miller. Is the point,
No, they
right?
cannot. No, definitely.
He's
My
not
God.
fabulous. Okay,
All right, fine.
he
I'm just
is.
getting
I
nothing
mean,
but hate around me here. Pixel, help me out. Why am I getting so much
Um,
hate against Swamp Thing? I love Swamp Thing.
so I liked there was a Swamp Thing movie, right? Like
Oh
back in
yeah,
like
Two
man,
of
love
two
it.
of them.
like the
Beautiful,
90s,
beautiful
the
B
90s.
movies. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Not 90s, 70s.
Was it 70s? Okay,
Yeah.
because there was one I saw on HBO a bunch of times,
hmm
and I liked that one quite a bit. I remember, but Swamp Thing has never been one of those characters I really cared all that much about. And I played World of Warcraft. They had characters that looked like Swamp Thing and stuff, and I used to try to kill those things all the time because I'm like, yeah, whatever. So Swamp Thing just never really did it for me, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Fine.
Swamp Thing has a lot going against him. He's not a sexy looking guy. In this environment, it's a guy who's going through the hero's journey, and the SJW system doesn't want that.
yeah.
And the most important thing, the special effects that will cost to keep this guy going.
It's true. It's not cheap.
Right.
But the pilot was
And
really good. Good special effects, man. It was well done.
I think they canceled it because they didn't get the subscriber they were hoping for when they announced Swamp Thing. They were hoping, oh, we have to get the subscribe to it. Nobody bit. And they're like,
Yeah,
oh,
but
no,
Dinale, you hit it right on the head. It's a bait and switch. Disney is doing it. Amazon's doing it. Netflix is doing it. Everybody's saying, "Oh yeah, we're going to have this show. We're going to have these actors. We're going to have this." And then when you ask them point blank, when you're going to deliver? Well, it's in the works. But sign up right now so you won't miss it.
well, Marco 808 says accounting budgeting era from what I hear. Okay, there you go. But yeah, no, it's unfortunate. I like Swamp Thing, but I guess I'm alone here. So next. This is wonderful. This is just wonderful news. Thank you. You've discovered something particularly tasty, Denali. Go ahead, dude.
So there was a recent interview with Marvel producer Victoria Alonso, who believes that the name X-Men is outdated and that Marvel is going to move forward without using the title. It'll be like kind of like Logan and Deadpool and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you won't have X-Men in the thing, which doesn't make any sense. But
Number one, business 101: how to destroy your audience that you have built up for the last 50 years.
Yeah, right.
I got your answer. New Coke.
New Coke. Yeah. Well, if I might interject just real quick, you guys know I'm an English teacher, right? You know that, right? I think I've mentioned it before,
right.
right? Yeah, you guys know that, right?
Mhm.
We're not aware.
Was that one time?
Yeah. Well, I'm an English teacher, guys. That's my profession. That's where I make my majority of my money. And here's the thing that these morons never understand. Males, not the female, in the English language, we don't get specialized words. We get the generic word. Women are the ones who get specialized words. Man or men refers to human, right? And that is why it is an all-encompassing word. Woman, or from the man, is a specialized word. This happens all across English. Think about even the word, say, brother. Is brother male specific? No, it's not. A brother can be used for everybody, but sister can't, right? Etc., etc. There are not a lot of words in the English language that are specific to the male being one of them, right? Mr., right? The English language is really thin on those kind of things. But if you look at words that are specialized to the female, there's thousands of them. All right. And this is the thing that ticks me off. This is not talking about the male. It is talking about X-Men. Has anyone ever read an X-Men? It's like, oh, this is just about men. Why? Look at the one that's sitting right on the front. Storm is one of the most popular X-Men there is, right?
Yeah,
Right.
Jean
and Rogue.
Grey.
And I
Uh,
mean, it's Xavier's man, which is
But you
that's
know
what
what
it
you
is.
understand what I'm the point I'm the
No,
pedantic
no, no,
logical
no,
point
no.
I'm making,
No,
right?
I'm pointing it out. What exactly where the title is coming from? It's encompassing all the students, all the mutants under Xavier. That follows Xavier's his ex men.
Yeah.
So
Uh, and yes, wait, brother can be used for everyone. Yes, it can.
yes,
Like
yes.
although specifically in English, there are very few male specific words. Sir, Mister, male. There's not many, and there's probably many of you think that are only for males that technically are not. Now we might well use it that way, right? Like think of this, for instance, guys and gals, right? An old expression coming out of the 30s, 20s, and 30s, right? Guys and gals. Gals is only for female, but guys can be used universally, and we do it all the time, right? And I'm boring somebody. Fine, fine. See, anytime I try to
I
bring some
just keep having
education
the
to
old
this
the old
channel,
cartoon music go through. Is there anyone else not having the music of the old cartoon just go through their head as we're going?
it was a
It's
really cool
just
show.
amazing, and you see all the characters go, and they're awesome, and there's men and women, and it's just nostalgic, and it's so well made, and
Yeah,
and they were the
yeah,
X-Men.
they were.
No, I'm just saying. Oh yeah, man.
Yeah,
Dun, dun.
And now they've taken that and they're just picking it to pieces. The whole it's new Coke.
it's
New
new
Coke.
code.
No one likes
It is.
new Coke. We want Coke. We
Yeah,
want X-Men.
it's so ridiculous. And we didn't really cover it very clearly with Dark Phoenix because honestly, the things that complain about that movie are just infinity upon its absolute disaster. But of course, one of the big things that's hot in the news the past couple days is the two very hateful modern third wave feminist hating on man statements that are put in the movie. And it's like, all right, that's what you want. It's not going to help you. And it's not going to help you. And no one cares about this Victoria. Victoria, no Victoria. Bad, bad Victoria. Victoria, when's the last time you got laid, Victoria? Is that the problem,
Ugh,
Victoria? Is that the issue, Victoria? Right?
F word.
we don't
F,
even want to think of that.
F word.
Well, there are men who are professionals that deal with that. Last story of the day, Dinale.
All right. Admiral Akbar, Tim Rose detail humiliation on the set of Disney Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
I
Now,
think it was picking a lot of traction
mhm.
because he didn't like how Admiral Akbar was treated on that film.
Well, he was teary-eyed. I think
Mhm.
a slight overreaction on his part, but he was very emotional about what they did to him. And I agree with him. I agree. I don't disagree at all. They absolutely botched Admiral Akbar. I mean, my question would be straight off the bat, why wasn't Admiral Akbar in charge? Why wasn't he? He should
Yeah.
be in charge. There's no reason he shouldn't be in charge. He should have at least been on some even keel with Leia. I mean, there's no reason. He's in charge of the military. She's in charge of the political. That's how things work, right?
Yep.
But
He
yep,
should have been like, yeah. Look here. Does this say captain on my shirt? No, it's admiral.
freaking admiral, right?
He
Exactly.
should have been Grand Admiral.
Yeah.
He should have been,
Yeah.
yeah. And they could have had the little purple-haired woke lady in there as well. And they could have had actually some interesting dynamic between them. Maybe her and Admiral Akbar are disagreeing. They're not, and you could have had some nice dramatic scenes between the two of them. Nope, nope. But of
No,
course,
jettison out like like aliens.
yeah, they just killed him, for no reason. I would have rather him not even mention he was on the ship. To be fair, I mean, I would have been
Yeah.
better. You know.
He should have
It
been
was
the
a
one that blew up the other ship. If they were going to do the really bad, like world breaking kind of fly the ship into the other ship as a weapon kind of thing, at least let Akbar do it.
yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right. And the thing also that they could have done with that, they could have got rid of Admiral Akbar in a cool way, and they could have took this lady who they obviously brought her in to replace Leia initially, and then somehow things got shifted and they changed to try to make her heroic, which is a completely throwaway character. They should have took her, got rid of Leia. Let Leia die in the scene she died. It would have been a great moment. And they didn't know she was going to die. The actress was going to die, but it would have been perfect. I mean, especially because they obviously want to kill off the past. This is the whole damn theme of what they got
I was
going
about
on.
to say,
Kill
Chester,
it.
you're driving me crazy because what they should have done is not done anything in this movie
That's
and
true.
actually made one that
That's true.
honored the original material in the first place.
I'm just working with what I got, DeWolf, but you're right.
Don't even
But
try.
but that wasn't the marching order. The
Yeah, no,
marching
you're right.
All,
You're
all,
order
right. You're right.
was
You're right. You're right.
all,
But
all I'm hoping for is that there will be some clever artists out there who will superimpose Akbar.
there is one.
There
There
is
actually
one.
is one. Yeah. I can't think of his name offhand. He's got like a Latino name, I think, or an Arabic name.
Ivan
I think
Ortiz.
Latino. Ivan Ortiz. There it is.
I,
And if you
yeah.
haven't seen what Ivan is doing, go check that out, dude, because that kid is badass. I like that kid a lot. He is seriously remaking The Last Jedi in the right way, and he's wonderful. Love that kid.
Well, can we interview that kid, man? Holy smokes!
We could. I could try. I don't know if anybody's got a contact with him, but I would love to interview him. To be fair, because I mean, I really like what he's doing, and this is actually one of the things that Ethan had introduced. He kind of brought it because his main shtick now is Star Wars, not comics, right? But he told us about Ivan. Well, it is, and he told us about Ivan, and I went and checked it out because he suggested it, and I'm glad I did because that is a cool kid, and he's very talented. Yeah, but
Okay, how about we get a link in the chat if anyone knows where we can easily find the kid.
You type in Ivan Ortiz on YouTube.
You want a link in the chat where you can easily find a kid? What are you,
Wow.
disgusting?
Wow, George. But yeah, if anybody has any contact or access to Ivan at all, which we might well in this community, because like I said, Ethan tried to take him under his wing a little bit. So we might well have access to the kid. If you guys do, please get in touch with him. We'd love to talk to him because what he's doing is very cool. And if, well, dude, most people are kid from my point of view.
Maybe he's a
and,
young man.
He's a young man. But he actually comes off I like a kid in the good way, though. He has a very effervescent attitude about him. I like him a lot, dude. He's really and he's very talented. But I'd love to talk to him. I really would. And more importantly, if you guys haven't seen what he's doing, go check it out because it's really cool.
When my
But
kids get effervescent, I tell them they need to take a shower.
oh my goodness gracious! See what it's come to. See what it's come to. Pixel says what? So you want Admiral? He should have crashed into that ship saying "Allahu Akbar." Is that what you wanted? Is that what you wanted? Okay, fine.
Demonetized.
Demonetized. Hasn't he already finished the edit? I haven't watched it. I don't think he's done quite yet. He's done a lot, though. Thank you very much, Joshua. He's done a lot. Actually, I haven't checked him out in a good 6 weeks or so. I need to go back.
So his name is Ivan Ortega?
Ivan
Yeah.
Ivan Ortega or Ivan Ortiz? Which one
It's
was it,
Ortega.
Joshua? It's Ortega.
It's Ortega.
Yeah. He lives in Brazil. He's like in Rio de Janeiro or something like that. But his English is
No,
really
he's-
solid.
It's in like LA, isn't
He's
it?
yes. He's in Atlanta, Georgia, guys.
Atlanta? Okay.
Is he? I thought he was in
yes.
Brazil. I thought he was in Brazil, at least in some of the early videos.
He's
We got some
Mexican.
links in the chat now.
Oh boy.
Oh well, because I thought for sure I heard him say
No,
he was in
no,
Brazil.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Oh, that's all right. It doesn't matter.
Just
He's cool kid. I like him.
Okay.
And what he's and more importantly, he's incredibly talented. He's really good at what he does. Especially, one of the things that he's really good at. I mean, his editing and all that kind of stuff is really good. But actually, I think his strongest suit is his music editing. He's really, really solid, dude. And he notices and
What do you know about
recognizes those
music?
kind of things. I mean, I know a little bit. But
You're an
he
English
changed.
teacher.
Well, yeah, I am an English teacher. You're right. But he changed a lot of the orchestration of music that was in the Last Jedi and taking it from other movies and placing it in, and what a difference it makes, dude. He really, really did a great job with that. Anyway, that's Sadness for Admiral Akbar. I 100% agree with Mr. Rose. They absolutely showed nothing but disrespect to your character, sir. I do apologize.
Yep. All right, we killed this article. Let's move on.
Yeah.
We did. Okay. And
Well-
that is the only article we have. That is the end of the
Well-
show. And of
well,
course,
I
I do
have-
need to run
well,
myself because,
Yeah. Well, I was going to say we have one more story if we want to cover it shortly.
No, I have to go, dude. I got to start
Okay.
I have to go. I have to set up an entire another stream. I have to get out of here. So,
All right.
yep. So go ahead,
Okay.
Dinale. Take us out of here, dude.
Well, join us in less than 45 minutes for Fan Edition Drawn and Quarter, where we are doing Monster MD with Von Claus. Watch Chester and Booster make funny accents and embarrass themselves like they usually do.
Thank you.
Join us on Fan Speak on Saturday, where we'll be interviewing Doug Garrett for his Legend of the Lone Wolf that's on Indiegogo. Check that out. And if you're interested in comics, think of joining my Dinale at comics@gmail.com newsletter, building the Immortal Mask, getting some talented people and team set up, and I'll be excited when I'll be able to showcase some of the artwork, secret perks, and all that. But as always, your perception shapes your reality, so always make it a good one.
Namaste.
Let's say
Later, guys. Awesome.
Aloha.
Hello, Akbar.
Go save Tommy Robinson.